Are we live? I think we are live. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm really sorry if you were waiting around. If you're waiting around live for this video to come up. As always, my internet wasn't connecting. It wasn't live streaming into Facebook, so I've had to go a different way. So I apologize to keep you waiting if you have been waiting. So thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a cracker of one. I'm going to start trying to keep the trainings like around 20 minutes. Okay, I have listened to your feedback and I know that you guys don't have a huge amount of time, right? It's difficult because this isn't on a podcast, so it's kind of hard to listen to when you're just sitting down and watching a video. So let me know in the comments, please, if you would prefer me to keep like the trainings short and sweet, maybe under 20 minutes, or if you're happy with something like up to 45 minutes. Can you just let me know, like 20 minutes or 45 minutes, which one you would prefer? Let me know in the comments, just write 25 or 45 and I'll know exactly what you're talking about. And I will try and keep these trainings under the 20-minute mark if you guys want shorter trainings, like short, sweet, to the point, reduce the babble. I will try and do that. So today I'm going to try and do just that and deliver you 7 reasons why you're not losing weight. Now, these aren't just because you're not eating enough vegetables, because you're not drinking enough water. I hope that the reasons that I'm going to give you this week are going to give you something different to hang on to, different to think about, something a little bit out of the box, and maybe not necessarily something that you're constantly thinking of that you could potentially see as an obstacle to your weight loss. So whether you're trying to lose 5 pounds or 50 pounds, 1 pound or 100 pounds, whatever your goal is, these are going to be suitable for you. So whether you're a beginner in weight loss or ACE or a pro, I'm just going to, write on the live that we are live so everyone can see. We are live. Amazing. So I've just written on there that we're live so you guys can see. I'll keep that there, so if you have any comments, please drop them in. Hello Maureen, thank you for joining. You might have missed, if you would prefer my video trainings to be 20 minutes or under, type in 20 in the comments for me, Maureen. And if you are happy for them to be longer, like up to 45 minutes, just write 45 in the comments, because I don't know what you guys prefer. Anyway, so yes, whether you're a beginner to weight loss or a pro at weight loss, whether it's your first or your last few pounds, this is going to be really useful for you. So type in hello, type in your 20 or 45, and let's crack in with it, and get your pens and pencils out because I want you to make some good notes. So number 1 is going to be that your mindset is going against you. It is highly likely that your limiting beliefs, so your current beliefs, believe that it's not possible for you. That can look like simple thoughts like, I've tried it all before, this isn't going to work for me, I'm too old, I'm too sick, I'm disabled, right? I'm unable, I don't have the capacity, I don't have the time. All of these are thoughts, right? And typically it's our thoughts that are holding us back. Now, science has shown that the way that you think can create or is creating the result that you're seeing. So I don't know if you've heard of law of attraction, manifestation. So whether you're spiritual or more scientific, whether you are religious, there is basically a way that everyone sees you creating the results that you want. So whether you pray for it, whether you try and manifest it in prayer or in meditation or in vision boards, or whether you believe in the law of attraction and science, there is technically a place for it in kind of any mentality. So something like law of attraction as well is going to change the way that you, sorry, there's a squirrel out there and that is just such a Bianca moment. I'm like, squirrel. Changing the way that you believe and what you believe to believing that you are able or will find a way to create the result is actually going to bring you much closer to the result much faster. Now, let me give you a very quick example. If you believe that you are too old to lose weight, this is a limiting belief, and this is just not true. It's just a thought. And by the way, a thought is just a sentence that runs around in your head, just a collection of words. And we all think that our thoughts are true. They feel true, right? They feel so true. And our beliefs, they feel true. But when you can take like a step back and really look at your thoughts and ask yourself if they are genuinely factual, you can see whether they're thought or not. So literally by just changing the way that you look at them and pulling facts, like what could be proven in the court of law, for example, can actually help you create a more neutral version of your thought, and you can see whether your thought is true or biased, right? So if you think that you're old, then that's just too old. That's just a thought. Anyone at any age can lose weight, whether you're in menopause, whether you're done with it, right? Whether you are not going through menopause or you're pregnant, whatever. Whether you're 70 years young or 21, you are never too old to lose weight, okay? But if you believe that you are too old to lose weight, it is going to be very difficult for you to act in a way that is congruent or that is going against your internal belief. It's going to be difficult, right? So for example, if you think that you're too old, you believe that you're too old, you'll likely act in a way that isn't going to create the results that you want because your internal beliefs are that you are too old. So if you change that to, for example, law of attraction, so we think about the goal that we want and what we really want, if you change that to believe something like, I can achieve the result at any age, and you strongly and firmly believe that, then you can create that result. So your mind is going against you because of your current beliefs. Change your beliefs and you can significantly change the outcome and the time that it takes to achieve your outcome. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. Number 2, BTLJs are ruining, completely cutting off your progress. Okay, what do I mean by BTLJs? Now, if you read my newsletter, you might remember this from quite a few newsletters back. This is really stuck in one of my clients' heads, and she is just like, this has kind of like changed my mind. So I wanted to share this one with you, right? Bites, licks, tastes, and justs. BTLJs. If you are mindlessly eating by taking a bite, by taking a lick, by tasting, and by justifying any food that goes in your mouth with the word just, it's just a taste, it's just a lick, it's just a bite, it's just the last bite, it's just the last chip, it's just the kids' chicken nuggets, it's the weekend, right? If you are using, if you are bites, if you are guilty of using extra bites, tastes, licks, and using the word just to justify more food, you could easily be gaining 10 pounds over a year. And imagine with those very simple licks here, tastes here, just one more bite here, just the last chip in the packet, those little just there are going to add up. And imagine if at the end of the year, you were 10 pounds down, even more to what your weight loss was, even more. That would be significant, right? You feel so much better. And that's by zoning into those bites, tastes, licks, and justs. So be very mindful when you use the word just. Be very mindful if you take a bite off of your partner's plate or grab a bite of your partner's dessert. Maybe swap, right? If you take a taste of your chili, sounds silly, but leave a taste behind. Leave a taste in a different container, or in the tub. It sounds silly. It sounds very simple. But imagine if you could significantly reduce your weight loss over a year by like 10 pounds from from being mindful of these very simple things. So bites, taste, licks, and justs can be ruining your progress very easily and going completely under the radar. Number 3, weekends are reversing the weekdays. If you find that you go ham, right, you go fully hard, you go all in Monday to Friday, but then the weekend comes and Friday night comes and we're just going to go out with the girls, just going to have dinner with the partner, or it's a weekend, so I'm going to go out to the pub. And if we start justifying this overconsumption, alcohol, it's a huge one, we can basically undo what we've done throughout the week. Okay, so spreading that out Monday to Sunday is going to be really important because it's so much easier to overconsume at the weekends because we think that just because it's the weekend that we can forget about our goals, right? That our goals suddenly don't exist. I'm going to tell you now that your body runs on a 24-hour clock, not a 7-day clock. So don't forget that the weekend can completely undo the progress that you've made Monday to Friday. And be very mindful of that, right? If you want a takeaway, can you make a fake away? Can you make one from home? Can you make it much healthier? So be mindful that even just those 2 days at the weekend can be completely undoing your 5-day work. If you find that it gets to the weekend and you think that you really need to treat yourself, try and treat yourself in a way that doesn't involve alcohol or food. Try and treat yourself in a way that treats your future version of you. Try and treat yourself by getting your nails done. Try and treat yourself by buying a new top or buying a new bra. Spend some time with the girls, but you don't have to have alcohol, and make the company and the day the treat, not the food. There are many ways that you can work around this and many ways that you can change the word treat. And also, if you feel like every weekend you need that break, that sounds like during the week you're probably limiting yourself too much. So again, give yourself a little bit more throughout the weekdays and you'll feel less inclined to blow it all out the water on the weekends. Number 4, you're not spending time reflecting. This is huge. The clients that see the most results, hands down without a shadow of a doubt, it's a no-brainer. The clients that see the most results are the ones that spend time reflecting. They're the ones that ask themselves, what went well? Write these down. What didn't go well? And how will I improve next week? Reflect on your day, on your week, and on your month. Reflect on elements of your health, of the habits that you're doing. Reflect on the reasons why you don't do things. Reflect on the reasons why you do things. Reflect on your successes. Reflect on your failures. I always tell my clients that we don't learn anything through success. We learn through the failures. And I don't call it failing, I call it falling forward, and that might be cliche. But you learn more from the things that don't work because it hits harder. And so we say, I don't want to feel like that again. I don't want to feel like I'm useless or that I can't do this. So I'm not going to feel like that again. And understanding like, oh, this went wrong because of this is such a bigger motivator than just saying like, oh, well, I failed at this, right? Because you get to make progress. You get to be curious and make more progress. Number 5, you've not set clear goals and mini milestones. Every single first session, I sit down with a client and it's really important to map out our goals. For most of us, I create little mini milestones for some goals, especially if they're not very specific. So it's very easy to say, okay, I want to lose 24 pounds in 24 weeks. Fine, that's easy, that's measurable, super easy. But if you don't set mini milestones for things like increased energy or just feeling better, then it's very difficult to kind of like know if you're taking the right steps, right? And it means that you're trying to reach the huge goals without the clear steps to get there. So I want you to think of a ladder with huge steps in it, like big spaces. It's going to be really, really hard to get to the next level. It's going to be really, really hard to get to the next step. If you have a ladder with steps with smaller spaces between, we're going to get up, right? Think of that as your goals. Imagine you're setting a goal and it's like one step at the bottom, that's where you are, and one step at the top of the ladder. And you're like, well, fuck, I'm not going to get up there, am I? That's what you're doing with your goals. How do you expect to make that leap up the ladder to achieve your goal without giving yourselves the mini instructions to get there? The instructions are milestones. So if you want to feel better, how are you going to feel better along the way? Like, what's a mini milestone? What would you like to achieve to make one step closer to your goal? So stop focusing on the big picture instead of, no, that's the wrong thing. So make sure that you're very, very clear with your strategy on how you want to get your goals. It might change. You might not necessarily know the hows, like the how to get there, how to get 100K, how to lose 100 pounds, whatever. You might not know how specifically. You can definitely give yourself some clear pointers and clear mini milestones and targets to reach to get there. Number 6, you're focusing on the big picture instead of your daily actions. Okay, so again, it kind of ties in with the last point. You're looking at that ultimate goal and you've got your focus on that ultimate goal. My focus is 100 pounds, 100 pounds, 100 pounds. I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to make 10,000 a month. I want to take 10,000 a month. I want to make $10,000 a month, right? How about you focus on something that feels so much more achievable? Ask yourself, how am I going to lose just £1 this week? Just to let you know, 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss a week is the sustainable amount. Anything faster than that, you're looking in the territory of probably returning to your old habits and regaining. And by the way, 94% of women who lose weight regain it and more within 7 years because they've not created sustainable results, sustainable habits. They've not solidified those habits and they've not dug deep enough to understand why their self-sabotaging patterns happen. That's why all of that is an integral part of my Regenerate program, which most of you know about already. But understanding like why you fall off and why you have the tendencies to not follow through is really important. Most of us know what we need to do, right? Most of us know that we need to eat healthy, we need to drink water, we need to sleep. We know all that stuff. We know that we need to exercise, but we just don't do it. We don't follow through. We don't have that consistency. We don't always have the motivation every single day. Okay. So make that more achievable. Make it feel better and easier. And simply ask the question, instead of how am I going to lose 20 pounds? Because that sounds like, whoa. Ask yourself, how am I going to lose £1 this week? What am I going to do? What am I going to change? Say it out loud for me now. I want to lose 15 pounds. Now say, how can I lose £1 a week? Does the £1 a week feel more achievable? Or does the £15 overall goal feel more achievable? Write it in the comments. £1 is more doable, £15 is more doable. Write it in the comments. What do you think? What do you feel? I know for me, and for all of my clients that I've done this with and spoken to with this, it's so much easier for them to focus on just £1 a week, just the habits and the behaviors that are going to get them £1 a week. So important, so important. And numero 7, because I want to try and keep this short and sweet, you don't celebrate your successes. Yes, I told you that like acknowledging and reflecting on the failures that happened is really important. But what is also equally important is celebrating every single bloody good thing that you've done. Every time you overcome a craving, what do you want, mister? Every time you overcome a craving, the cat's about to walk past. Every time you say no to a girls' night out, every time you say no to an alcoholic beverage, every time you lose £1, every time you do something that is not what you used to do, or it's different, or it's an improvement to what you used to do, celebrate that, lady. Celebrate it, girl. Acknowledgement, no matter how small, is fuel. It acts as fuel. So keep feeding that fire, keep feeding that fire, keep feeding that fire inside your stomach, inside your heart, that is pushing you to reach your goal. Okay, so number 7 is you likely do not celebrate your successes enough. This is like half of every single session that I have with my clients. The first one, we really dive deep into wins. And sorry, my cat's floating around. We really dive deep into understanding the importance of celebrating the wins. Every single client session, every single group coaching session, and even every single challenge that I run, we always start with celebrating success, because acknowledgement acts as fuel. When we're feeding the fire, we feel more urge and power and empowerment to continue. We see success, and the more success we see, the more we strive to see more, right? It's the key to motivation. The key to motivation isn't to wait for motivation, it's to make action, see results, and then create motivation. Stop it. He's trying to like knock stuff down. Use your guilt, but not now. Trying to knock stuff down off the whiteboard. So that's like a key to motivation, right? Don't wait for motivation to hit. Take action, see results, and then feed off of that motivation. Keep feeding that. Keep feeding the fuel, the fire. There's the 7 reasons you're probably not losing weight, and I guarantee you at least a few of them you haven't heard of. Please now write in the comments, if you're still watching this, or if you're watching this to now, mention which one of these you were going to start working on. At least one, right? Remember, just one small step, £1 a week. What one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, are you going to start working on today? Because there's no point waiting for tomorrow. The motivation is going to fade. Remember, motivation is followed by action. So what action are you going to take today? What number? Let us know in the comments. I would absolutely love to know. I'm just trying to see if we have any comments today. No, you're most welcome, Rebecca. Lovely to have you here. So let us know. And if you want to help change all of this, overcome all of this, and see how this is doable for you, we have the August challenge all set up, ready to go, ready for registry. We've already got a few people in the challenge, so come on board. It is it is free. I don't even know when it bloody is. We've got the challenge, which starts on Sunday the 25th and continues to Thursday the 29th of August. It is free. It is 5 days of intimate group coaching. I try and keep the group small and keep the group minimal. And I only keep the group to people who are ready to make a change. And the reason for this is because I want you all to make the most and get the most value from this intimate group coaching opportunity. Okay, so let me know. Just message me the word method and I'll get you in the Never Diet Again method, which is the 5-day challenge in August. And we will help shift all of these and so much more. Okay. Thank you so much. Don't forget to drop all of your answers in the comments below, and I will catch you soon. Take care. Bye.